Hello everybody, this is TipTop MTG here today with another MTG Arena video. For those of you who don't know, this week on my channel is Brawl Week, where every day I play a different Brawl deck featuring a legendary from Kaldheim. So in today's video, I'm playing Vega the Watcher. This is a Azorius colored Brawl deck that focuses around casting things that aren't in your hand. So whether that's casting things you foretold, escaping things from your graveyard, or casting adventures, this deck wants to generate some value doing that. And it's a little bit different than my previous two, which were Turgid and Tybalt, which are both kind of black control decks. Obviously, Tybalt had red in there as well, but this one focuses more on trying to gain value, and we're going to kind of look at some games that I played. So let's jump right into this. Alright, so jumping into this first game, we're going up against a Phylath deck. I think that's its name. Phylath. So he's going to care about landfall. We have a pretty good hand here. We have a lot of control. We don't have a lot of casting things from outside the game. We have two cards, or from outside of our hand, but we have a decent amount of removal. We have a little bit of ramp there with Solemn Simulacrum. I think this is generally a pretty good hand, and as long as we can kind of get our value engine going before he is able to kind of cast Phylath, we should be good. Unfortunately, a lot of Phylath's impact comes from him entering the battlefield, and so our removal isn't going to do much about that, especially when he has such an aggressive opening with that was really unfortunate. But we of course get another removal spell, so we should be able to just keep Phylath in check. Assuming we don't die to just good old-fashioned Gruul aggro. He is pretty far away from it, but as you can tell, he is playing landfall based on that Brushfire Elemental, meaning first off, we're going to be taking a lot of damage from these creatures, and second off, it means we're going to be he's going to get to 6 mana faster than turn 6 is my prediction here, but I'm able to at least get my commander down turn 3. Next turn, I may be able to do Shepherd of the Flock things, maybe I'll foretell the blast, but it's very likely that I may just cast Solemn Simulacrum. That way I have a blocker for something that also just draws me a card and ramps me. I'm not really going to block with Vega, really. He is just a combo piece, and we do draw this card, the God of the Worthy, which I like it because it does so much, but just it doesn't happen to mess with anything here, really. And so, yeah, I decided to cast this. That way I can at least get a creature. And I decided to deal with his 1/1 because while it is, a scary 1/1, it can't be blocked by my creature. Like, my creature, can't block it, which means that it is just a bad threat, and I don't want it to be around. On top of that, the one that's gaining counters can get up to 4 power much easier, which then means I can use Giant Killer to kill it, but I may actually use that on the 4/3. So this is a game where I'm playing against an aggressive deck. Maybe I should have traded there, but I want to use that Giant Killer and then trade with the Gallia. But I think, honestly, getting rid of this 4/3, making sure he can't cast his commander next turn is probably going to be a good thing. And then we can also cast Giant Killer, which is going to draw us a card. We draw the land. Unfortunately, we've already drawn a land. But if they do mess with any of our permanents, we can return them to our hand. I may be able to use that to return Giant Killer back to my hand, and then use that in order to kind of kill Phylath when he re-enters, or maybe kill her, so that all the creatures don't enter as 1/1s. So he's now at 5 mana. That's scary. That means if he draws a land or a ramp spell, that it's not going to go well. This is a really tough decision. I'm getting really low in life. There may be an argument here to double block because I don't need cards, but I need an answer. That's the thing. I'm not running low on cards, but I need answers. And so I'm hoping here for a Doomscar or something that I can use. That's not an awful card. Labyrinth may be able to be used later, but this is just such a tricky situation. I could use Banishing Light to deal with the counter dumper, but I could also put down the shield, and then those counters don't really matter because I can counteract it. I could play this and draw a card and see what I get, and that's honestly what I think I'm going to do. I do get a land. Unfortunately, I've already played one, so I'm stuck at 4 mana here. And honestly, it may not be a bad idea to cast one side of this, probably the flyer, just for another creature. But I'm very torn because I do want to keep Giant Killer up, so that if he does cast this commander, maybe we can kill it before he gets to put counters on things. That of course is assuming that he draws a land. Yeah. This is such a tough game. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually come back from this, saying that they are an aggressive deck. We've already seen that they have hasters, so we have to be on high alert. And his commander, it does get more expensive, but it gets more potent every time. And then he goes and, oh my gosh, so now he has 3 lands in his hand, which means he'll be able to not only play Phylath next turn, but also then dump a land guaranteed. So what we, now I'm regretting not playing the god of, why can I not think of the name? It's literally in front of me. The god. I don't know why I didn't play. I mean, I do know why I didn't play it, but it's really coming back to hurt me there. It would have been nice to have some extra creatures here, but I think I'm going to use this just because I need to survive, so I can't let that Trampler live. It does suck because I really wanted to use it on Phylath because it is my only instant speed removal, but I don't see a world where I can get away with that. I do have to like trade to clear the board. We do give them a 2/2, but now we have Raven Form, which is a nice piece of removal. And if we can get Giant Killer down and on the battlefield, ooh, we got ourselves a board wipe. This may actually kind of clutch us this game, hopefully. So I think while they have nothing on board and I don't have any instant speed responses, I should probably try and develop my board state as much as I can. And so if I can ramp and get a creature and then maybe replace that card, I think that's the right way to go. Honestly, maybe I should foretell this, yeah, just because I don't have instant speed reaction. I could fake it, but I don't think it'll change anything he does. I think he's playing his commander and then he's going to play a land. So I think foretelling that's the right choice. That way next turn we can just spend 1 mana dealing with his Phylath. Or if he does do some crazy, maybe we're going to be spending 1 mana to deal with that, because it has trample. That's really difficult. I just need to survive this no matter what. So I'm just gonna, unfortunately, kind of chump here just so that I do not die. This puts us in a critically low health, sitting at 3. Especially going up against a red deck, that's kind of terrifying. He probably is very confident here. We can obviously remove it. We have many options. We can use Raven Form. We could use Banishing Light. Honestly, I think Raven Form is the right move here. But I could also Banishing Light. But I do worry about Banishing Light. I'm going to do it. But if he has enchantment removal, I'm dead. Kind of. If he has enchantment removal and he's in the form of a creature, I'm doing this just in case he does something with plants, and then I'm going to foretell this, which may not have been the right move. Actually, it was, because I can't use that because there's no creatures on the board. But my goal is that maybe... Okay, so he's casting Phylath, right? Or something scary. I'm really hoping it's Phylath. We do have that board wipe in hand, which is going to get rid of our... Banishing Light. Banishing Light was not the right move. I should have Raven Formed. Honestly, that might actually cost us the game, because now I have to... destroy all non-land permanents, and then I'm going to have to use my Raven Form on Vorinclex, which is going to leave them with a 1/1, which is, it's a 1/1, and that wouldn't be a really big deal if I still had my shield, but I'm losing the shield because I'm definitely board wiping now that they have Great Henge. So yeah, I am going to put down this Fabled Passage, and then we are just going to destroy all non-land permanents. We need to set them back as much as we can. It does really suck losing my shield and the Banishing Light, but with my extra mana, I will be able to Raven Form, and I do have the mana open for Mystic Reflection if I need that. I don't know exactly what I'll be able to do. I believe it says non-legendary, so I can't in response to I can't in response to Phylath entering the battlefield choose Phylath and make all the creatures at ETB just die. So that's really unfortunate. Yeah, so I think this just enters the battlefield. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was dumb. Yeah, it is non-legendary. I should have done that beforehand and it would have entered as a 1/1, which I could have gotten out 2 flyers. No, that probably just cost me the game. I could have used Mystic Reflection, turned it into a 1/1. I would have taken 1 damage this turn. I could have played both Vega, and I could have played the bird side. Ooh, this is not going to be great. Okay, we're going down to 2 health. If we don't draw a board wipe, we are dead. Okay. We might be able to do something here if he's dumb and puts all of his counters on 1 plant. Remember, don't put your eggs in 1 basket. All your eggs in 1 basket. Right? Am I just dead no matter what? Yeah, I am. I think. Well, I can take damage from the 1/1, so I need to block 2, and I can remove 1 from combat. But if he's smart and puts any counters on any of the other plants, we are just dead. So if he doesn't have a land, we survive this by chump blocking both the 4/5 and the 5/5, and then letting the 1/1 hit us, and that gives us 1 extra turn. But they do have that, so let's hope they're dumb. Put it on the 4/5. Put it on the 4/5. Come on. No. Okay. So yeah, that looks like it is going to be a loss. There's not much I can really do about that. He was just a really fast deck, and that is obviously the enemy of value kind of decks and ones that are trying to set up little engines. So yeah. All right. So on to the next game. We are fighting an Eskia deck. I don't really see this going well. Eskia is probably the most powerful commander in Brawl right now, up there with Kroxa. And I'm not starting with a particularly amazing hand. I'm missing a color unless I use Glasspool Mimic. But we just kind of have to hope that they get off to a kind of slow start here as well. They are scrying, and they scry to the top, which is something you really never want to see. It just often means they just got the card they're missing, especially if it's a turn 1 scry to the top. Yeah, so in terms of plays, I think we just Vega here. Unfortunately, none of my removal. Actually, I think we Arcane Signet and then Foretell, Behold the Multiverse. Yeah. I could have also played Haka to just get a creature down, but we are kind of racing them getting to Wooburg, and that's kind of this deck. And so again, we're kind of unfortunately faced against kind of another aggro deck, and I wouldn't. Ooh, that seals our fate. I wouldn't necessarily call this an aggro deck in the same vein as the previous deck we faced, where that one was literally just, I'm going to hit you really fast, really hard. This one is more in the fact of, you have a countdown, and once that countdown reaches 0, they have such powerful creatures, it really doesn't matter what you do. I think that might have been a mistake. I should have probably played Glasspool Mimic. I don't really see myself having a creature that I can copy other than, I guess Skyclave Apparition, but I'm going to be considering myself lucky if it's something with CMC4 or less, which, by the way, that does suck. The fact that Apparition just barely can't hit Prismatic Bridge is pretty crazy. So we just have to hope they hit one of their utility creatures, if they even have one in the deck. And if it is, we just have to hope that we can get it with Raven form before it does something too terrifying. Of course, it's not a creature, so that's pretty good. That means none of the cards in my hand deal with that. So we really need to hope that Behold the Multiverse can get us some sort of destroy spell that can destroy an artifact and a planeswalker. A Banishing Light would honestly be fine right now, but neither of those are that. So yeah, those are going on the bottom. We end up with this, which may do something, but they're not casting spells, so that doesn't matter. They're not playing Snowland, so that doesn't matter. They're not, I guess, the 1 damage prevention, and the fact that if they target my stuff, it costs extra, maybe, but they're gonna have so much mana, it really doesn't matter. So I really don't see us winning this game. I guess, yeah, that sucks. I guess we do this as a shield? I don't know. I can't remove anything. I guess I could I could play this as a creature just to block and then foretell Raven form, or I could play Haka. That way it'll let me scry, and then I also get a blocker for the wolves if I really need it. And then what else do I play? I think we just need to get creatures down in case they get something with haste. Okay, so they get an Ugin. Those are probably two of the most devastating things to pull off the top right now in Standard. So I don't really know what I'm going to do here. My hope that, I mean, if they board wipe, yeah. Okay, they have a, yeah. Okay, we're conceding this one. Yeah, that was not amazing. Alright guys, so those were the two gameplay things that I did with Vega. Honestly, it's not necessarily a style of deck that I really enjoy, and I think part of that is because it seems so weak. And I say that, I think Vega is going to be a fine commander, but I have one real big issue, and that is the fact that Brawl is dominated by removal. If your deck is either heavy removal or heavy rush, you are going to win. If you are mid-range, or if you are control, there is a high chance you are not going to, or not control is going to do it. If you're like a mid-range combo-y deck, there's a high chance you're not going to win. So you need one of two things. You need either a gimmicky way to cheat really big things out, and even that is a little sus, or you need a lot of control. And I think the fact that, by the way, all three of these videos have just been me playing for 15 to 20 minutes, and I just take those games. You'll notice with Turgid and Tybalt, I think I lost once, and the rest of the time I was pretty much just controlling the game. And then this one where I really didn't run much control, and even I actually did run a decent amount, it was just so limited. It may be a testament to the deck I'm playing, and maybe you could build this a lot more control heavy, but I didn't want to build 5 different control decks. So yeah, Vega, probably my least favorite that I've played so far out of this week, out of the 3 that you have seen so far. Tomorrow we have a new commander as well, so if you want to see that, stay tuned. Also, if you want my deck list, don't really recommend it. This is the first one I don't recommend. It is in the description down below if you want to check it out. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe to see my other content, especially Brawl Week that is happening right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.